What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Rage in a Cage with BamBam and Schwaggs. I'm your host, Frank BamBam Horak. With me, as always, my co-host, Mikey Schwaggs.
Hey Frank, how's it going? UFC is making its long-awaited return to Japan. UFC 144 should be great.
Great night of fights, 7 main card fights. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, it should be. It should be very
It's
awesome.
going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Let's start talking about it.
And right off the bat, could be a fight of the night. First, Pettis Lozon.
Oh, it's going to be a great fight. Great fight to start off with. Great
Amazing
lightweight fight.
Should be interesting.
It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this fight. Anthony Pettis, former WEC champion. When he first came to the UFC, he was supposed to get a title shot, fight the winner of Edgar Maynard. But that was such a great fight, ended in a draw. So instead of waiting, he decided to fight. Lost to Clay Guida.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's rebounded, won a close split decision to Jeremy Stephens.
Yep.
So he's 1-1 in the UFC, so this is a big fight for him.
Yeah.
And he's going up against a tough opponent.
Yeah, Joe Lozon coming fresh off of a spectacular finish of Melvin Guillard, stopping him. And he was on a 5-fight win streak. So, Guillard was on a tear in that division. And Lozon, he caught him with a stiff left, dropped him, and then got his back and choked him out.
Yeah. And the majority of Lozon's wins are by submission.
Yes, he's got a sick ground game.
Yeah. And with Pettis, I mean, you've seen he does some highlight reel stuff. Obviously everyone's seen the leaping kick off the cage.
The Matrix kick,
the Matrix kick against Ben Henderson to help him win the title. So I obviously the advantage goes to Pettis stand up. But I think he has a very underrated ground game, though.
He submitted multiple people in the WEC.
Yes, I think Lozon's going to have a little bit of a tough time, though, getting the submission. I think if the fight style, Lozon could hold his own stand-up. He's shown that, like I said, he dropped Guillard. He has some solid stand-up, but I think when it comes down to Pettis, though, I think has the advantage stand-up. Will be able to survive, even if the fight goes to the ground, to be able to do enough to get it back up to the feet. I see Pettis winning this fight. I'm going to go third round TKO. Anthony Pettis wins.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with you here.
Nice.
Right off the bat, first one,
like
Frank.
It.
I got I got Lozon. I think Lozon, he's got probably one of the best overall ground games in that lightweight division.
Yeah.
It's probably debatable, but I think, in my opinion, he's got the best ground game in that
It's
division.
tough to argue. It's up there. I don't know about the best, but it's definitely up there.
Well, I think that's where this fight's gonna come down to. Pettis showed that he was good at in his last fight against Stephens, that he can execute a game plan and follow it throughout the whole fight.
Yep.
He didn't want to stand and bang with Stephens because Stephens got a lot of power. So in this fight, I think he's going to want to look to stand and bang with Lozon, as he's probably going to have the clear advantage
Yeah,
in the stand-up.
Yeah, absolutely have to give him the advantage.
But with that, I think Lozon has the clear advantage on the ground.
Well, listen, obviously, he definitely has the advantage. But like I said, Pettis, though, as you even agreed,
it's underrated.
It's definitely underrated. I think he'll do enough to be able to get the fight standing. But all right, it's good that we disagree right off the bat.
I think
you have Lozon, I have Pettis.
I think Lozon is gonna,
What do you got? Is he winning by decision?
He's gonna get him with a third-round submission.
Third round, he's submitting Pettis. All right,
Yes.
Should be interesting. It's gonna be a great fight, as you said. Definitely has fight of the night potential. So let's move on.
I mean, if you're a fan of grappling, like world-class grappling and jiu-jitsu, this is the fight you want to watch.
Absolutely. No, it's gonna be a great fight.
Transitions, reversals.
This fight got announced. I was very happy.
There's going to be so much going on in this fight.
It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good one.
All right, let's get into the next one. It's going to be a featherweight fight. Bart Palishevsky versus Hatsu Hayoki, making his return to Japan after his UFC debut.
Absolutely. Both of them recently made the UFC debuts.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them 1-0. Hayoki won a split decision. Bart had a vicious knockout
of
Tyson Griffin.
Palishevsky's was definitely the more impressive victory.
No question about it. That was a vicious knockout of Tyson Griffin. He looked very good. Both of them now 1-0 in the UFC. It's a big fight for both of them. Obviously, Hayoki now fighting, going back to Japan. The crowd's obviously going to be on his side.
He's definitely
now, you saw when they fought in Brazil, all the Brazilian fighters, not all of them won, but you had a little extra motivation.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had the whole crowd on your side, so it certainly helps get the adrenaline and whatnot going.
Definitely.
So this is going to be a good featherweight fight.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a great featherweight fight, and depending on who wins this fight, you could possibly be looking at the next #1 contender from this fight.
I don't know if I go as far as #1 contender, but they certainly take a big step up. They're going to be right there because, as you said,
well, how about this? You say the winner of this would face maybe the winner of Poirier Sung Jung.
I like that. Yeah, I
for a
can
number
see
one
that.
contender, maybe.
I can see that because there's the featherweight. There's a lot of guys that you can argue that could be next number one contender. So
Definitely.
yeah, I would say the winner of this definitely moves up. Then you can start talking title talk.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe one of them win one or two more matches before getting a title shot.
You look at Aoki as the great guy. He's a very well-rounded fighter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Great ground game though. Great with the submissions. And then you have Bart. I mean, when you like to talk about experience, you kind of throw that out the window with these because both of these guys have a
ton of experience.
Huge, yeah, both great experience. Bart though has as you saw in his one UFC fight, knockout power, but he was from the WEC. You know, he's showing he's got the knockout power. Aoki's got the submissions, but good with stand up. But Bart also on the ground though is
he's
no slouch. Yeah, he can hold his own. So I see the same kind of thing, like I said with Pettis Lozon. Aoki will try to take the fight to the ground. Bart will do enough to get the fight standing, and then I think I don't know if he'll knock him out, but I'll say he wins by decision.
I got him knocking him out.
You got him knocking him out.
I got Palashevsky with the upset, second round knockout.
So we both agree on the upset. You got him with the knockout. I got a decision.
Yeah, you know, I think Palashevsky's going to have the clear advantage in the stand up. You know, Aoki looked terrible in the stand up in his fight with Roop.
Yeah, he didn't
While
look good.
You know, he looked great on the ground, though.
Yeah.
He's got some vicious ground and pound, and he works the clinch very well.
It was a split decision that he won on Roop. And like you said, he didn't look great with the stand-up. But he's the type of fighter, though, well, that's definitely something that he's working on. I'm sure he'll be better in this fight. But, yeah, I think when it's all said and done, though, Roop has his hand raised. Whether it's a knockout decision, I should say Bart has his hand raised, yes. Bart has his hand raised, and he's going to win this fight. And he's going to take then a big step up in the featherweight division.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, definitely. You know, I think Aoki's going to look to get the fight to the ground, but Bart's going to be able to keep it standing, and he's going to beat him with a knockout. Second round.
All right, should be good to see.
Should be great.
Let's move it on.
Moving right on. We got Yushin Thunder Okami versus Tim Boesch.
All right, great middleweight fight.
Yes, it is.
Boesch has looked impressive ever since he's went down from light heavyweight to middleweight now.
He has indeed.
He's 2-0. This is by far, though, a big step up in competition for him because when you look at the two fights that Boesch won against Kendall Grove, no longer in the UFC, and Nick Ring, who's not, a top middleweight either.
No.
So, I mean, this is obviously a big step up in competition. Okami, though, last fight coming off a loss against Anderson Silva, which, I mean, everyone who fights Anderson Silva comes,
it's Anderson Silva.
But, he did not look good in that fight, though. Lost second round TKO. So I see, though, a nice bounce back, though, for Okami. Again, he's from Japan, so now coming home, he's going to have the crowd on his side. I see Okami winning this fight. I think everything Boesch does well, Okami does a little bit better.
Yeah, you could definitely say that. If Okami's able to get the fight to the ground, he's got the clear advantage with he's got some serious ground and pound, and he showed it.
Oh, yeah. Great. I mean, Boesch, though, a very good wrestler.
He's got
very good chin. It's going to be a good fight. I'm not saying that Okami's just going to run right through Boesch. Boesch will hold his own. I see this being a very good fight. I see us going to a decision, a close decision, but I see Okami winning.
I think Boesch can take Okami out. I think he showed since moving down to middleweight, he's become a much more well-rounded fighter. With he's looked great with his dirty box in his last two fights, and I think that's going to be a key to this fight. If he's able to get Okami against the cage, keep him in the clinch, use his dirty boxing, and get the takedowns when he wants, and control the fight, I think he'll be able to stuff Okami's takedowns, keep the fight standing en route to a unanimous decision.
So you have Boesch winning.
I got Boesch winning.
So we're different on another fight. It's good to see. Well, listen, there's no question Boesch is a good fighter. Since he was good, a solid fighter at light heavyweight, but now since the switch to middleweight has definitely been a positive thing. He's looked very impressive.
Doubt.
But again, when you look at the two fighters that he fought, though, this is definitely a big step up in competition. The Japan, you have to factor in the Japan thing a little bit with the crowd on Okami's side.
It's going to be a big factor.
It's going to be a factor. So I think when it's all said and done, Yushin wins this fight.
Well, we disagree, so
we
will see you on Saturday.
Yes, we will.
All right.
What do we got?
We got Yoshihiro Akiyama, or as the Japanese fans would call him, Sexyama, or as you would call him.
I don't think I call him.
And Jake Shields looking to bounce back.
Back 2 fights in a row.
Well, actually, both fighters are really looking to bounce back.
I mean, you look at Akiyama, he was supposed to be the next big thing coming into the UFC.
Yeah.
He's 1-3 in the UFC, and his one win. I personally thought he lost. He won a split decision to Alan Belcher in his debut.
Close fight.
I thought Belcher won the fight, but yeah, it was a close fight. But that was his one win. He did not look good at middleweight. I mean, got knocked out in his last fight by Belfort. So the move to welterweight, I think, is a good move for him. As you said, another Japan fighter now going home. He's very popular in Japan.
Probably one of the most popular fighters in Japan.
Yeah, but Jake Shields, I mean, coming off first time he was knocked out since 2000.
A decade.
That fight, though, I mean, he had just lost his father.
Yeah,
it was a bit
there was a lot of
influence in him. So he had that going on. I can't see Jake Shields losing 3 fights in a row. So I'm gonna.
It's tough for a fighter to lose 4 fights in a row too.
So yeah, but when you look at that, I think the talent level, I think Shields though is just the more accomplished fighter. You look at the type of when I was looking at Shields' history the other day, he's beaten Carlos Condit.
Oh, he's beaten some
Dan
of the best
Henderson.
of the best.
He's beaten a lot of good fighters. So the Yushin Okami, we were just talking about him. Shields has beat him. So it's tough for me to see Shields losing this fight. I mean, he's great. I mean, though Okami, Akiyama, you think. He's got the knockout power, so you think right away he's got the great. But he actually has very good takedown defense and whatnot, and he's going to need that in this fight because Shields is going to look to take this fight down. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Cesar Gracie.
Yeah, so I see, though, Shields, though, being able to get the fight to the ground because he can hold his own stand-up. I don't think he has a threat of knocking Akiyama out, but I think he'll do enough on the stand-up to keep it and then take it to the ground. I think he gets I see him, Shields winning like second-round submission, I got.
I'll agree. I think wherever the fight goes, I think Shields is the better fighter than Akiyama. Fight goes to the ground, Shields has the advantage. On the feet, not so much for Shields.
No, if Akiyama can keep the fight standing, that's his one chance to win this fight.
I think he's going to want to work his clinch game. He's got a really good clinch game.
He does have a good clinch game, and he does have very good takedown defense. So if he can, but again, Shields though isn't just an average guy. He's very good at getting these. If he wants a takedown, he's going to take it down for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but Akiyama does have the KO powers. You saw his last fight, Shields did get knocked out. So, I mean, it can happen.
Well, anything can happen.
If I'm a bet man, though, I think, when you're talking about the all-around better fighter, it's Jake Shields.
Well, yeah,
I got Jake Shields winning this fight.
Like I said, I think Shields is the better all-around fighter. I think he'll be able to handle Akiyama on the feet, and he'll get the fight to the ground when he wants to, and he'll secure a victory with a rear naked choke. In the first round.
I got second-round submission. You got first-round submission. Either way, Akiyama is, unfortunately for the Japan crowd, is going to be tapping out.
I know, and I just... Do you think he's going to get cut by the UFC if he loses?
Okay, well, he looks 1-4. I mean, you can certainly make an argument that he has not looked impressed. I mean, that one fight with Chris Lieben was the only fight that...
That was a great fight. But he really don't look...
No, outside of that, he hasn't looked that good. They might give him another shot at welterweight, I would imagine so. But if he loses, it depends. If he gets, like you said, a first-round submission, he looks terrible at welterweight, he might get the boot. I could see it.
Well, he's such a big draw. At least for this event in Japan, he's a huge draw.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say necessarily maybe everywhere else he would be as big of a draw.
He's not big enough, especially if he's 1-4 in the UFC.
No, definitely not. Not by
you should see it. So it's a big fight for both fighters. Shields doesn't want to lose 3 in a row. And obviously, Akiyama doesn't want to go to 1-4.
No, he definitely doesn't. But like we said, we think Shields is the better overall fighter, and he's going to be able to beat Akiyama.
That's how we see it. So those are the first couple of fights. When we come back, we're going to break down the rest. We got Congo, Mark Hunt, big heavyweight fight.
How many did we differ on those first 4 fights, Frank? We differed on 2, right?
We differed on 2, so it's good for the race to the case for the
Looks like I could be making a...
You need to come back after my commanding lead.
Oh, commanding lead. You're winning by 2, guy.
Commanding lead.
2.
Anyway, when we come back, we'll talk about the last 3 fights, which are going to be great fights. Not to mention a lightweight title fight.
A couple of fighters returning to their glory days in the Pride, too.
Absolutely. So when we come back, we'll talk about it. Stick around.
Rage in the Cage.